Organized crime has always lurked in the shadows, operating with its own set of rules, power struggles, and scandals. From global empires built on illicit activities to betrayals that shook entire syndicates, the dark world of organized crime is riddled with secrets. Today, we'll explore 10 of the most shocking scandals that expose the inner workings of these powerful criminal networks. 1. The Mafia's role in JFK's assassination. The assassination of President John F. Kennedy in 1963 is one of America's most infamous events. Among the many theories surrounding his death, one implicates the Mafia. It is believed that organized crime figures, including Sam Giancana and Carlos Marcello, may have played a role in the assassination. The alleged motive? Retribution for JFK's crackdown on organized crime and his brother, Attorney General Robert Kennedy's aggressive pursuit of mob bosses. Giancana had allegedly helped Kennedy secure votes during the 1960 election, and the betrayal could have sparked violent retribution. Although the Mafia's involvement remains speculative, the scandal continues to fuel books, documentaries, and conspiracy theories. 2. The Medellín Cartel's reign of terror. Led by Pablo Escobar, the Medellín cartel became synonymous with terror in Colombia during the 1980s and 1990s. Escobar's empire amassed billions through cocaine trafficking, and he was responsible for bombings, assassinations, and political corruption on an unprecedented scale. One of the biggest scandals came with the 1985 siege of the Colombian Supreme Court, allegedly orchestrated by the cartel. Guerrilla fighters stormed the court, destroying evidence and killing judges who were preparing to extradite cartel members to the U.S. This horrifying event exposed the cartel's reach into politics and the judiciary, cementing its grip on Colombia during its most turbulent years. 3. The Yakuza's Fukushima scandal. The Yakuza, Japan's infamous organized crime syndicates, have long maintained ties to legitimate businesses. However, their involvement in the aftermath of the 2011 Fukushima nuclear disaster shocked the nation. Reports revealed that Yakuza groups exploited the crisis by infiltrating cleanup operations and using unregulated labor. These syndicates recruited vulnerable workers, including the homeless, to undertake dangerous tasks, pocketing profits while endangering lives. The scandal highlighted the Yakuza's ability to capitalize on human suffering, drawing global condemnation. It also shed light on the government's inability to completely sever ties between organized crime and legitimate enterprises. 4. The Camorra's toxic waste dumping. Italy's Camorra crime syndicate has been involved in various illicit activities, but its toxic waste scandal in the region of Campania remains one of its most damaging legacies. Beginning in the 1980s, the Camorra struck deals with businesses to illegally dispose of hazardous waste, burying it in landfills or simply dumping it in rural areas. The result? A significant spike in cancer rates in the region, with entire communities suffering from contaminated air, water, and soil. The Italian government's struggle to contain the crisis has been a testament to the Camorra's deep-rooted influence. This scandal not only devastated local ecosystems, but also exposed the extent to which organized crime exploits environmental loopholes for profit. 5. The Fall of Al Capone. Tax evasion. Al Capone, the infamous Chicago mob boss, dominated the Prohibition era with his control over bootlegging, gambling, and prostitution. Despite his violent empire, Capone managed to evade authorities for years. However, it wasn't his criminal activities that brought him down, it was tax evasion. In 1931, Capone was convicted of failing to pay taxes on his immense illicit income and sentenced to 11 years in federal prison. This scandal marked a turning point in how law enforcement tackled organized crime, demonstrating that even the most powerful mobsters could be brought down by targeting their financial operations. 6. The Sicilian Mafia and the Maxi trial. The Sicilian Mafia, or Cosa Nostra, faced its greatest challenge during the Maxi trial of the 1980s. Spearheaded by brave judges Giovanni Falcone and Pablo Borsellino, the trial prosecuted over 400 Mafia members in a fortified courtroom in Palermo. The scandal wasn't just the trial itself, but the shocking revelations that emerged. High-ranking politicians, businessmen, and police were shown to have deep ties to the Mafia. While the trial resulted in numerous convictions, Falcone and Borsellino were assassinated in retaliation, exposing the Mafia's willingness to destroy anyone who threatened its power. The Maxi trial remains one of the boldest moves against organized crime in history. 7. The Russian Mafia and money laundering scandals. The collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991 paved the way for the rise of the Russian Mafia. One of the biggest scandals involving these crime syndicates was their infiltration of the global financial system. The Russian Mafia laundered billions of dollars through Western banks, particularly in the 1990s and 2000s. In 2019, the Troika laundromat scandal exposed how Russian oligarchs and mafia-linked figures used offshore companies to funnel illicit money into Europe and the United States. These schemes not only fueled corruption but also revealed how organized crime could destabilize global economies while remaining largely untouchable. 8. The Hells Angels and drug trafficking. The Hells Angels Motorcycle Club is notorious for its involvement in organized crime, particularly drug trafficking. One of their most shocking scandals unfolded in the 1980s and 1990s when several members were implicated in the production and distribution of methamphetamine. The operation was so extensive that it drew the attention of the DEA and the FBI. Undercover agents infiltrated the club, leading to numerous arrests and convictions. However, the scandal didn't just tarnish the Hells Angels' reputation. It revealed the deep network of connections they had with other criminal organizations, from Mexican cartels to local gangs. 9. The murder of Judge Giovanni Falcone. While we've touched on the Maxi trial, the assassination of Judge Giovanni Falcone in 1992 deserves its own mention as one of organized crime's most heinous scandals. Falcone, who was instrumental in prosecuting the Sicilian Mafia, became their primary target after the trial concluded. The Mafia planted a massive bomb under a highway near Palermo, killing Falcone, his wife, and 3 bodyguards. The audacity of the attack shocked Italy and the world. It underscored the Mafia's brutality and the risks faced by those who dared to challenge them. Falcone's death became a rallying cry for anti-mafia efforts in Italy, but the loss remains deeply felt. 10. The Pizza Connection Scandal. In the 1970s and 1980s, the Sicilian Mafia and their American counterparts collaborated on an international heroin trafficking operation that became known as the Pizza Connection. The scandal was so named because mafia-controlled pizza parlors were used as fronts for laundering drug money. The operation funneled billions of dollars worth of heroin from Sicily to the United States, devastating communities in its wake. The scheme was uncovered in one of the longest federal trials in U.S. history, which lasted from 1985 to 1987. While several mafia figures were convicted, the trial revealed just how deeply entrenched organized crime had become in legitimate businesses, making it one of the most infamous drug scandals of all time. Organized crime thrives in the shadows, but these scandals have brought their dark deeds to light, exposing the true cost of power, greed, and corruption. From political assassinations to environmental disasters, these stories remind us of the far-reaching consequences of unchecked criminal empires. If you found these scandals as shocking as we did, don't forget to like this video, share it with others, and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into the world of crime. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.